You're tuning in to Past Our Prime,
a show powered by Squad Locker.
Here are your hosts, retired Astros minor league star Tip Fairchild and former Patriots All-Pro center Dan Copen.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program, Past Our Prime. Tip, I'm Dan, coming at you. Episode 15. The weather is starting to turn right now.
And we talk a lot about golf.
It's starting to turn. Ever since you jumped into the Atlantic Ocean.
I did.
And even a couple days before that, it was nice. It was getting nice. Mm-hmm. The days after that are getting nice again. So I'm glad you jumped in on the worst day of the year in Rhode Island. But our favorite sport right now.
Oh, it's golf by far.
Golf. Yeah. And we have a PGA Class A instructor coming on, Jake Hutt, who, if you aren't following him on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Jake Hutt Golf, follow him. He is phenomenal. I
am starstruck right now, actually, because I've watched you more than anything online in a long time. So I mean, I have so much. And by the way, I love the fact that your videos are 15 seconds and a minute, because if they were longer, like, my hours with you would be really deep. It would be really deep.
You go into the hole.
Yeah, I go down into the hole all the time with this guy. And we've got buddies. I'll shoot him your thing. I'll be like, hey, start watching these videos. And then I'll send him that at 9:30 p.m. at night. And then my friend will text me back at like 1:30 in the morning, like, hey, I'm still on the Instagram feed. I've watched every video.
Nice.
Right?
Hell yeah!
So that's serious, right? I mean, we're pumping you up already.
Where do we begin? Long hair.
It.
He's got long hair. You're not
gorgeous.
You're not
long, gorgeous hair.
Yeah. You're not your average golf instructor, correct?
Yeah. I teach. You know, I pride myself in just teaching the normal everyday person how to fucking play better golf. I mean, I'll teach anyone. I study my ass off, so I try to, I like to think I've got, I don't want to say all the knowledge in the world, but I work my dick off studying the game and the sport and the swing and the physics behind everything. My whole goal is just, I when I was kind of coming up, I would watch all the YouTube videos and all that shit that, it's like you sift through 40 minutes of a video to get, maybe one nugget. And I was like, God damn, this is so fucking annoying. Why don't they just give me this 15 seconds? And like, no one was doing it. So I was just like, all right, I'm not going to have an intro. I'm not going to have an ending. I'm just going to say, whatever it is that I think is right, and then end it. And I'm going to do it'll be the shortest video you've ever seen. And I'm going to do a whole shitload of them. Yeah. So and you don't have to cut through the clutter and all that. So that's, that's,
it's crazy, quick, easy videos that I have no clue how you think of either, right? Like, I mean, so let's back this up a touch, Dan. So Dan, what are you, like an 8 right now, handicap?
Yeah.
Dan's like an 8. I'm like a 3,
yeah.
Right? So we can move the ball a little bit. I mean, we're not going to go out there and shoot 65 and be all serious. And I like to untuck it a little bit every once in a while and wear a backwards hat if I can out there. Yeah. It's not that necessarily easy. In Northeast courses, right? It's not really easy. He knows that. You talk about it. But what I don't understand is some of these videos that you do, like where you tape an airplane to something and you pick up a suitcase, and it's like that makes all the sense in the world. And I've tried to do it with like watching somebody on Golf Channel being like talking about it kind of like a stiff, where I'm like watching you do the airplane thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. And I'm just going to go flush balls all day. So is that, I mean, is that all coming off the top of your head, just like thinking creatively, like laying in bed one night, being like, okay, that feels like an airplane. It needs to bank its wings. Like, how does that come to you?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a mixture of like the airplane thing came from this book, The Science of the Golf Swing. This guy used that. That was a brilliant analogy. No one but the biggest fucking golf nerds are reading that book. So I try and go out and like just get in the weeds and then just pick up nuggets and kind of think about it, apply it, and then simplify it. Because there's a lot of really cool information that's just so fucking boring to listen to, and no one's gonna do that. So like, but for whatever reason, I find it interesting. I smoke enough weed so I get fucking into it enough so I can
it feels like that. Your drills feel like that.
It's legal where you are. It's okay.
Yeah,
it becomes interesting after a couple hours. So I go in and I just love like thinking about it, and then obviously the coolest part is talking to guys like you who just you're low handicap golfers, whoever, just the everyday dude who's, who loves playing the sport that doesn't have to painfully sit through, not saying that any of the other videos are bad, but like I've watched quite a few of them where I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking boring. I wish they're
really boring. They're always boring.
Right. So trying to bring a little flavor to that and make it at least, somewhat entertaining, I guess. So,
yeah. No, I mean, we're going to go deep into this, I guess.
This is going to be a long one.
You're a California boy, right? How the hell did you end up initially at Curry College in Massachusetts?
Please. What the hell? I have no idea what's going on with this story.
What the hell were you thinking? I mean, I just don't. That's not a good fit. I already know, and I don't even know you that well. That's not a good fit for you.
It's not.
So, oh fuck, that's a long story. So I'll try and say that, kind of tell the short version. So I grew up playing ice hockey. My family's from northern Minnesota. Cousins played hockey. I wanted to be just like them. I had no idea what golf was. I played for fun, but I didn't give a fuck. And played 3 years of junior hockey. Played the North American League. That all kind of everything was going right. And then junior, I got to my last year, my third year of junior hockey. So you graduate high school and you go and you play junior hockey. So I was 21. And it was like, things weren't going the way I wanted. I had a really good rookie year. My second year I was a shit show. Took way too many penalty misses, was getting frustrated, and I wasn't getting the looks that I wanted. I said, fuck it, I'm going to go to school in California. I'm done with hockey. I didn't make it to the level I wanted to. I'm going to hang it up, right? I'm going to go and just go to school and be a normal person. That lasted a year and I just couldn't handle it. So I made a few phone calls from a kid that I played juniors with, and literally this was 3 days before school started. I was like, I'm fucking losing my mind. I need to go play again. And he talked to the coach, and Curry is, I think like the acceptance rate is like 101%.
Like if you can pay more than $10, I don't know. I don't mean to bash on Curry College now, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, from a California kid coming out, I'm surprised he even knew where Massachusetts was.
Mm-hmm. I'd never heard of this school. I called a buddy. I was like, I got to fucking play hockey again. I'm like, can you ask the coach, like, whatever. And so I hadn't played, like I hadn't been on skates in like a year. I showed up, and at the time it was a top 10 ranked D3 school. So they had a really good program. And we ended up making it to nationals that year. So I showed up, I got accepted to school on the airplane there. I think I flew out like the day before school started. My parents were like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I have to go play hockey again. Like, let's just make this happen. And so I get there, and like, I have no idea like where the fuck I am. I'd never been to Massachusetts before. And the first thing, like, all the team shit happens. We get on the bus, and like our first night out as a team is like fast forwarding, whatever, like 3-4 months into the year. And we get off, they drop us off at like, Faneuil Hall or whatever. And the first thing that happens, this chick like walks out of the bus and just starts fighting this other girl. And they're like fucking screaming at each other. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's the Northeast.
It's a mess hole.
Exactly. We live fast, man. We live fast out here.
And that was like my intro to the Northeast. And, Curry happened, all that, whatever. Ended up at Salve, and Salve was the best time I've ever had. And it was just like my intro to the mass hole.
Yeah. Salve's campus is in a really tough area. Yeah, real tough area. Yeah. Maybe the most beautiful buildings in the world.
Yeah, in between the breakers and another mansion.
I know. Insane campus. Really, I mean, I can't say I saw much of it because I never fucking went to school. But,
yeah, well, you saw the outside of it. You didn't see the inside of the rooms, but yeah.
Correct. Yeah, the outsides were beautiful. The insides, I have no idea what they look like.
Yeah, you were down on the cliff walk and then on the beach, like looking back at the campus, like, oh, I should be in, whatever class it is, business like 304, but you're like, nah, I'm going to be down here on the beach.
And that's where you found golf, right? That's where you didn't play before that, or did you just play for fun?
I mean, I did. Like, I grew up, just dad dropping me off at the course in the morning and just going out and fucking, whacking it around. And I got decent. I had like typical short, dusty hockey swinging like, way the fuck over the top, playing pull cut like every other athlete, and it worked.
Tremendous power, though.
And what's up?
Tremendous power, though.
Yeah, power that way. You can bomb it that way if you really want to, but it goes both directions.
I mean. Yeah, I mean, no hockey player can externally rotate their trail arm, so you're gonna be swinging over it as long as you tee it down a little bit. You have enough speed to hit down on it and just play a little controlled cut. I went away from that. Probably the worst thing I ever did for my scores, which we'll obviously get into that later. But yeah, I mean, I ended up at Salve, and all the guys, we'd all stay during the summer. I mean, that was essentially the only reason that we were there is for the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just, we'd wait for the school year to end. Hopefully we had our eligibility, and we'd go work at Newport National. Just the pro there.
Terrence.
Terry.
What's
Terrence? Terrence, right? Are we going with Terrence for the pro?
Yep. So he was there, and he just had a cool vision. I think on the first episode he talks about it, but he got the job there when he was, I want to say like 24, 25, the head pro job. So he was super young. And so he had like his idea of golf very similar to, I think, kind of how golf is being looked at now. He was like years ahead of that, where he just wanted people to have fun. He wanted the outside staff to be, they were literally everyone from the Salve team worked there. That's like the entire outside staff were just all hockey guys. And, we were able to talk to, obviously the hockey guys coming in, or, you also wanted us to be able to have conversations with, with the older member, the 70-year-old person, be respectful of them, obviously. He just wanted a bunch of chameleons, but he kind of introduced me to the fact that there's this other side of the golf world I'd never seen before. And kind of introduced me to the PGA program, all that. And, oddly enough, now we have a podcast and we're just having a blast. So he was like the kind of the stepping stone to, showing me golf wasn't just for fucking nerds, I guess.
Bouncy. That's a good way to look at it. Bouncy ball fairways at Newport National. The ball like bounces on those fairways.
You better hit the fairway though.
You better hit it. But the ball bounces there like beautifully for some reason. Did you play anywhere else? Did you play like when you were in Rhode Island? Were you playing other courses or anything, or do you know much about the other courses that are out here at all?
He never left Newport.
I mean, I
wouldn't have left Newport either.
Newport Country Club. Obviously, I never got to play out there. A couple of the guys caddied there, so they got to. I don't think they played, but they got to see it. That place is just legendary.
Yeah, you can hit a driver or a pitching wedge on a couple holes, depending on the day. Like on par threes. Par threes, like it's a full driver sometimes, and it's like 175. It's just crazy wind down there. I
think the only other course we played was the Marlboro Country Club. Spent a decent amount of time in Marlboro with my roommate. So we go down there for a yearly tournament, just get absolutely hammered. And
so Hennessy was on with you guys, Josh Hennessy, the hockey player. So he's at Quinnesset with me, and then Dan's at Wannamoisett, where Wannamoisett is the New England Amateur every year. Right?
Yeah, the Northeast
Amateur.
The
Northeast
Amateur
every year. So, we're at great tracks. I mean, Rhode Island's loaded with them. But what's the what I was going to ask is, you played out there a bunch, obviously, and now you're on the West Coast. Have you played golf all over the place? Or has it kind of been, hey, you were on the East Coast playing a little bit, and now you've been on the West Coast most of the time now? Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, I'm not a well-seasoned golf traveler, golf architect, person who's played everywhere. I'm pretty, like, California. We've got a place out in Minnesota. I played a little bit of golf. I mean, I don't even want to say I played at one fucking course out there in the middle of nowhere. And then, out East. Not really. I haven't been to like Scotland. I haven't played, I'm a blue collar golfer, I would say, other than the fact that I worked at Stanford. So I was able to, play in all the nice places in the Bay Area. So I've played everywhere in the Bay Area. I've played, SF Club and Stanford and, all those fancy courses, but anywhere else, no.
You asked that, Dan.
Yeah, you worked at Stanford, right? Or you currently are still working?
No. Professor Hutt. Professor Hutt.
Did you actually have to wear golf attire? Because I know you do not like to wear collared shirts, the long hair, the facial hair,
no shirt at all. Sometimes.
I would push the envelope about as hard as I could when I was there. I'd go the jogger,
Jordans.
That's fancy. It's fancy.
I go jogger, Jordans, and then I go mock neck every once in a while if I was trying to send a message, but usually just a collared shirt.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good style. Dan, did you buy those Jordans?
I let the facial hair grow out, and I get my mustache and the beard as long as it could go, and I just get the worst looks.
I bet.
It was pretty funny.
Did you buy those Jordans? Dan was hunting down those Jordans today. What were those? The fours?
The fours. The Jordan 4, the retro golf, and the Nikes
those
that came
just
out.
come out today?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock
Did
this
you buy
morning.
them? Did you get them?
I got them.
He got them. I knew he would. Yeah.
I was
He's got that football
I was
contract
on
money.
the website, and I felt like I was owed it because I tried to get the kid the Xbox 5 or whatever the hell it was this year. I was online, didn't get it. I got these.
It's
pretty exciting.
Great.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's a big buy for you.
I hope they come in.
Yeah.
Do you wear them, or are you one of those guys that keeps them in the box and just lets them?
Fuck no, I'm wearing them.
Oh yeah, he's wearing them.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
The worst part, I have no idea how this happened or whatever. I've broken toes and shit when I've played, but my shoulder was basically reconstructed in 05 or something like that. So there's a little hiccup in my game, but my feet are the worst. I have so much pain in the right underneath my 3 little toes of my right foot where it's just it's excruciating. Yeah. So the only shoe that I found, the True.
He turned me on to True. Link's wear. Are you wearing True? I mean, True. I have an entire closet full of True right now.
No, I've seen people get diehard about those. I've never actually worn them, but
I feel like
if you wear True, it's like the only fucking thing you wear.
No, they're nice. They're super comfortable.
I feel
That's
like
why
I'm
they're
like
great.
Freddie Couples right now with a bad back, and then he had to go to the Echoes,
Yeah.
and it's like, hey, these are the greatest things. It doesn't hurt my back. The Echoes didn't work. They gave me blisters on the back of my heel because I got calluses and shit all over there.
Echo is now not a sponsor, but that's fine.
The Zoom or the True,
Yeah.
fantastic, and
Unreal.
Nikes like the Air Maxes or something like that.
Yeah.
Nikes seem to fit me, so that helps my game, and I can walk the course again.
Absolutely, it is crazy. You can't there's guys out there that are just like way up here, and they'll look at. I was reading this article. This guy, he can look at like the bottom of your shoe and tell you like where your fucking what your deficiencies are going to be, like where your like hip socket is like.
Yeah.
That's like I'm striving to get to that level.
There's a lot of deficiencies right here.
There's a lot of deficiencies. Oh, don't worry. I sent him a couple of videos of some swings,
love
so
this.
we'll cover that in a little bit. But.
You know what I love about Jake Hutt Golf? The motto.
What's the motto?
The motto. Suck less at golf.
Oh God, that's a great motto.
That is
suck less.
That is the perfect line for an amateur golfer. Because the only thing, guys that are competitive want to go out and they want to, they compete with themselves, which is the great thing about golf, especially ex-athletes that need to get their fix at competition.
This is what we talk about almost on every episode, Jake. Right? We have athletes all over. We had Danny Woodhead on, who we got to get him on with you. He'd love him.
Oh yeah.
He's a +3. He's excellent. And he's also hilarious.
He's in Nebraska, so their season isn't as long as well.
But one of the things we talk about is like, what's our release after playing like some type of professional sport or high level sport, right? It's a lot of times it's golf for almost everybody we talk to.
Because everybody can play, right? Everybody can play, and I don't need somebody to go out there and play. I can go to the driving range and compete with myself.
Yeah, you love doing that. Yeah,
I'm just trying to get better.
Ball hitter.
But my whole goal is to suck less. And you go on the website, it's basically just very simple. I'm here to teach you in a very simple way to suck less at golf. And I find the best coaches, there's a lot of great qualities to a good coach, but the best coaches have great communication skills. Like you go into a football game or a football season, it doesn't matter if it's year 1 or year 9. You're in the off season, that first day of install is the same thing you've heard for like 9 years, right? The great coaches, the great instructors are able to communicate that lesson or that plan or that play to the guy that's been there for 10 years and the guy that's been there for 1 year. And he can talk to everybody and explain it in the simplest form where everybody gets it. And you almost pick up something new. And watching those videos that you have,
that's what happens.
You are just great at communicating the little things very quickly where you can sort of, all right, I'm going to take this to the range right now. And I think, what you have going on, especially in the social media realm, I don't know what you're doing with, like the private lessons and stuff, but it's just fantastic.
Well, you're about to get 2 new private lesson guys here after this, but
hopefully there's a discount.
Yeah, we'll get a discount probably. That's what we're going to fight for. But for me, like half the time if I'm laying there in bed at 10:30 and I like watch a couple of those videos, I immediately go throw my shorts on and go downstairs in the basement and like start like dry hacking, like to like hit swings. Or like if it's nice out, I go out. I built a big net, and Dan built one too right after me. Oh, yeah. We built big platforms, you know, like kind of like how you have set up, like it looks like in your backyard now. Yeah. But we go out and I'll watch a video and then be like, I'm already in bed, ready to go to bed. And then I'm like, I got to go out there and try that real quick. So that's
fucking rad.
I'm assuming that feels good for you to hear that, but
I hope
it's not just from us. I feel like a lot of people do that because his videos are so easy to capture, you know, like what you're trying to explain. And then I'm like, I can't forget right now that backwards K so I get the right shaft lean. So I'm going to go feel that out real quick, you know, because I love that feeling. That was a great video. Sick? Yeah, that's a great one.
I don't think I've ever had that feeling. I think I'm all upper body.
Well, I haven't seen you hit the ball off the club face in a while. So.
Yeah. It's hard to get the pelvis moving laterally enough and get your center of mass ahead of the body enough to hit an iron really good. Like you've got to have some, you got to have some mobility in that lead hip, and that lead foot has to be able to decelerate. And there's a lot that goes into it. But I think if you're somewhat of an athlete, like you don't need to give a good athlete a whole lot. You want to give them the opposite. You want to give them like an overall simple visual. And then, like you said, a simple way that like, it makes you think that you can, I kind of try, to me, there's concepts, and then I think a lot of golf instruction is a concept where it's like, okay, I understand that. That's great. But understanding something as an athlete is you could almost argue is not only useless, but detrimental, right? Because you don't want to be thinking about shit. You want to have a clear picture, and then you want to have the ability to kind of make it your own. So it's not perfect. So like the grip, it's like, all right, pick up the suitcase, pretend you're chopping a fucking onion with your right hand. Like I've done both of those things. Now just put those together and go out and fuck around. Like you don't need to overthink it, because, if you're thinking about all the fingers and where your pressure points are, I mean, you're going to be so much worse off than you were before. So it's like trying to find that perfect balance that just gets you out and gets you moving.
Who is the perfect student? So not an athlete.
Yeah.
Who's the perfect, or is it like I've been told by a pro at one place, don't get in lessons until they're like 12 or 13 or something. Just let them go out there and swing the club. But what's your ideal student?
Well, I mean, I've taught 5-year-old kids. Those
parents are crazy. Those parents are crazy.
Some of them are, but
they're learning how to golf and wipe their ass at the same time. So
exactly. Yeah. I had this one Canadian kid who was a gymnast. He was like a world-class gymnast. He was one of the most unbelievable little movers I've ever seen. And I mean, all I had him do, I'd set up balls and I'd have him run up and try and hit it. I'd throw him balls where he's like trying to bat him out of the air. We'd play catch, and then it was just all fun. It's just getting them to move and have fun. Cause I mean, all golf is to me is teaching someone how to move, or at least to be more aware of kind of where they are. All like they call it proprioception, like understanding where you are in space and time. Right. So you're standing over a golf ball, that space for a lot of people is really new. So it's getting them kind of acquainted with that, and holding up noodles and just say, swing over it, swing under it, try and hit the noodle. Whatever it may be, you're kind of guiding them they have no idea what the hell they're doing or why they're doing it. But the best student, I mean, not to stray too far away from the question, the best student is just someone that's open-minded, willing to listen and explore, right? Where they're not like, well, I heard this or I heard that. It's just like, no, shut the fuck up. Like, we're just gonna have some fun today. Right. I'm gonna throw you some shit. Just do it. And
Tip loves to explore.
Ask questions.
No, but I liked when I get locked in though, Dan. And you've seen me somewhat locked in, but when I get locked in, it's when I'm not exploring. I just am like, I'm literally taking the club, hitting a ball. And the thing I might be focusing on is how hard am I going to twirl this club after I strike this thing. Like that's the difference. It's like sometimes I get in that groove, and it might happen. It might be 2 months of that groove, or it might be 2 rounds. It might be one hole, right? But you feel it, and then it goes away, and then it comes back. And I'm assuming that as you get better and better and more consistent and play a lot and are out there on the range and are out there playing a ton of golf, it just becomes more just like pitching or just like playing football. It just becomes more natural, and then it just happens more. It's just consistency, right? I mean, that's why, my pitching career was 5.5 years long. it wasn't 15 is because you're not consistent and you're out of the game, right?
Right.
You had a nice long career, but like
you're absolutely right.
There's
key
guys
is
you watch
consistency
in golf too that are unbelievable for a little while, and then they fall off the face of the earth. You will forget their name, right? And and then all of a sudden they might come back 10 years later and win a tournament, right? And I see that. I feel like that happens a little bit more and more now. Like who's the guy that's kind of boring on the tour right now?
Spieth fell out for
that, but. Who's the guy that's kind of boring on the tour right now that just won last year? I can't remember. I'll think of his name as soon as we hang up. But like Brandon, something, whatever. But boring swing, didn't win for 7 or 8 years, comes back and like hits every fairway for like 3 months, and wins a couple tournaments. I feel like that happens more and more right now.
It's mental. I mean, it's really one of the ultimate mental sports.
What's the hardest problem to correct out there? Like if somebody's like, hey, you got 100 lessons, and then you see the person swing, and you're like, that's going to be a problem. What's the hardest thing to fix? Is it just super over the top type moves, or is it just balance?
That's a good question. Well, to kind of go back a bit, I think 99, I think that consistency question is such an interesting conversation because any athlete has, I had this conversation with my buddy, he pitched it at USF. And we're always talking about, we're very similar, but at the end of the day, consistency, like bad performance to me comes from nothing technical. It's usually either inconsistency in preparation or just something, or just shit that's going on in your life that has nothing to do with the sport. Right. When things are going good off the golf course or the baseball field or whatever, performance becomes way easier. Right. And I think it's such an overlooked thing. But when the head is clear, whatever that means for whoever it is, it means different things for everyone. But that's when you're just able to go out and just focus on ball flight and not think about, 10,000 other things. You're not in your head and all of that. As far as the hardest thing to fix, I mean, it just totally depends on the student and kind of their preconceived notions or what they've been told or what they've done, what sport they've played. I mean, everything you do up until that lesson has an effect on how you move or how you swing the golf club or whatever it is you do. Right. So, I would say, I mean, relating to you guys, the baseball player who hasn't learned to supinate that lead arm to close the face, because you're squaring up the barrel like that. So the face is just wide open.
I fix that by taking the strongest right-hand grip you've ever seen in your life and just absolutely mashing down on the ball and taking it straight back. And just knowing that my miss is going to be an absolute nightmarish pull hook. But a lot of times, though, I'm going to square it up. It's going to be a good ball flight. But like when there's OB left, guess what? It's in my head. so is that accurate, Dan?
Yes.
Dan has seen me grab the poles before out there, and it's been like, we might as well just go to the parking lot because this ball's going left no matter where I'm aiming right now because my right hand is way underneath on the club, super strong.
What I would do with you, grab, this will be a fun little drill, and this will be good for your short game too, because the player with the super strong right hand around the greens is usually a fucking nightmare. Grab like an old 7-iron and put a putter grip on it. Put the flat side at 12 o'clock.
So you get the thumbs down it kind of?
Right. And literally go out for like, what you could also do is bend it a little bit flat if you really want to torture yourself. Take it to the golf mart or whatever, and bend it 2 degrees flat. Hold like a putter, both thumbs right down the grip, and try and hit the most vicious snap hooks that you possibly can for like a month. And you won't be able to do it, but you eventually will figure it out, and it'll be.
So I won't be able to snap, and then it like kind of fixes where this grip is, where this right hand is what you're saying? It's
kind of just one of those drills that it teaches you club face awareness. So if you can only do it one way, in my opinion, you're limited. So giving a player like you like that task, that would be your only task, right? It's like, go out here, fuck around with this for a month. Keep me posted. Let me see, like your goal is to see if you can actually get the ball to curve right to left in like a functional. So you put a stick in front of you, 10, 20 feet, try and get the ball to curve around the stick and back to the target. That would be your task. See if you can do. You'll find that it'll feel like the club face. I'm trying to grab a club here. It'll literally feel like the club face is here at impact. Like it's like pointing back at you. It'll feel so fucking close. It won't be, but
I like that. I'm going to do it.
You might not sleep tonight. You're going to do this tonight, and you won't be into work for a month.
It's decently warm out this evening. It's probably 40, so I'm going to flip the lights on when I get home and hit the net out back. You know, the neighbor doesn't love that all the time when I'm out there banging drivers, but I can hit irons out there.
Who's your favorite guy on the tour right now? Is it still
Tiger all day?
Is it Tiger?
Tiger 24/7. Let's fucking go.
We just talked about in the podcast we just released today, and that we were like, is it too early to talk about this or not? And we didn't think it was because he's come out with some stuff. I think he's coming back and playing golf. Just because this guy has like so many things that is in him. A lot of it's self-inflicted. We said the same sentence, I think, on the last.
Same thing, but right? there's a switch in him.
It's a scary
unlike
switch.
Any other. Like he is just, if you want to talk about competition, there's Brady on one side. Tiger's right there with, I mean, they just have a different switch, and we both said he's probably going to see this as a challenge.
So let's fast forward 5 years. Tiger, he goes through yet another fucking comeback, and he's fucking coming down the stretch at the Masters, right? I mean, how people are going to be fucking losing their shit. As if we thought the last one was legendary. Oh my God.
This one is going to be unbelievable. And then imagine if he did it again when he's like 53. Yeah. Right? It could happen. That's what's scary about him.
He just gives everyone something to fucking root for, right? Like,
I agree.
It's like a new thing too, because like before it was like he was the obvious one, but now it's like he's kind of more and more you can almost call him the underdog, right? Where it's like you're just like, come on, like everyone like wants so bad. He's been through all that shit in the documentary. He's just been fucking. He's had a weird life, and
what'd you think about the documentary? It was a little off with the golf, and I think a lot of us know the golf stories anyway, and it was. I didn't mind. I wish it was 10 parts like the Jordan one, like Last Dance.
It just sucks because like he has no say in it, and just like.
Yeah, unlike Jordan, because Jordan was in his, right? And it was like, signed off kind of by him. And this one just was a little bit of a...
Jordan's been able to craft his narrative, for whatever reason, like Tiger, because he's a golfer.
Yeah.
Jordan taught Tiger how to be Tiger, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
There's nothing ever bad said about Jordan. He didn't have his whole life, filmed in whatever the fuck word I'm trying to think of. But Tiger on the polar opposite end of the spectrum, it's just like his whole life has just been a spectacle to a degree. And like, that's a shame. It sucks. It's entertaining as shit.
Yeah. I love that Armin Katayan quote in that thing though. It gave me goosebumps. I'm not even kidding. I was sitting on the couch watching it when he's like, oh, the young guys wanted to have that ability to take Tiger down the stretch at the Masters. And Armin Katayan said, the fuck you do. Like, right? I mean, you don't want that. You don't want that animal after you during, like, in those golf tournaments. That's not who you want to be 2 shots behind you, right? Or a shot behind you. Like, you don't want that guy because it's going to happen. And it did. And it did 2 years ago. It was amazing.
He's just going to snatch that W right out from underneath. You didn't even see it happen.
That's right. Has
there been another guy that's changed the game more?
More than Tiger?
Yeah. No, there can't be another guy that changed it more. I think the question, Dan, is probably who's second. Because he's too polarizing, like of a person.
Has anyone in any sport changed it more than Tiger? I mean,
no.
Who else in?
Well, our buddy TB12.
No, he didn't change football. He didn't change
but he changed winning.
Our buddy. I like how you said our buddy.
I'll say.
I'm just starting to bake it in right now. I'm baking
it's a we.
It's a we now. It's a we.
I'll say this. I will say, I think if you were to name one person in golf, the only person I think that you could say is more influential than Tiger would be Arnie. I think Arnold Palmer, the biggest fucking legend of all time. I think he really put golf on the map. He was the first ambassador. He set the tone. He set the precedent for everything, for the way your typical golf pro acts, like what they should act, who they should be as a person. Like Arnie is like he's the fucking man's man, but he's also just the sweetest dude on the planet. He gives everyone the time of day. He's humble. He's classy. He's the fucking man. So
another Pennsylvanian leading the way.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. That's
there you
exactly
go.
It. Do you have guys that are like trying to chase you out yet? Like I don't know how to like word this question, but you're getting huge. You're doing things that are creative. I mean, like people are finding you all the time. Is there a guy, I mean, could be a mini tour guy, could be a web tour guy, could be a PGA tour guy. Are they like, hey, can you help me on this thing yet? Does that happen to somebody like you, or does it take so much more? Like,
is that the goal? Is that the goal, to be a personal coach?
And is that even what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I've talked with some guys on tour, mini tours, Canadian tours. I don't like, officially work with anyone. People, they're picking my brain about things, which is the coolest thing ever. Someone who's at the absolute top of their field is asking you, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Or, so, I would say my ultimate goal, I mean, teaching the tour grind is a fucking grind, right? You're traveling every week. Like that's its whole thing. Like I love, I mean, if I were able to do both, like it'd be unbelievable to have a guy or two on tour and then be able to film it, create content from that. How unbelievable.
Oh yeah. That's a good dream right there. Yeah. That would be the thing. Yep.
I love the film part. I love the music part. I love being able to do my own thing without having a boss telling me, what I can and can't do. Cause everyone I've ever had has, told me don't do what I'm currently doing. And that,
yeah. Well, and by the way, it works. So sorry. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, the world's changed. This is how shit gets done right now.
No question about it. That leads like another piece that you do that's wild. And I want to go down this track because I can't even understand if this is you or not. I'm assuming. Are you doing all this rapping and everything too on all your videos? That's all you.
This is great because I'm laying
This is blowing my brain because like how many talents do you have, dude?
Tip sent me something probably 3 nights ago or something, and I'm watching it in bed. And it's one of your videos for about 45 seconds or whatever it is. And it's just looping. I'm just sitting there watching it over and over. My wife's right next to me. She just looks at me and is like, what the hell are you watching right now?
I've fallen asleep with your video playing before. So you had like 9,000 views one night.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's a golf video.
Yeah. It's wild, right?
Goddamn, social media. I mean, how you can put this together. And now you're doing... the rap, where the hell's the rapping come from?
Yeah, what's that? When did that happen?
Sorry, Tip's just filling his beer up right now.
Pour another one.
So yeah, I mean, I grew up just making stupid raps with my buddies at, in high school and whatnot. I started getting kind of serious into producing music, kind of along with everything else. But I mean, like music and hockey were like, that was like way more so than I spent a shitload of time kind of getting into that and diving into that. That was a big passion of mine. I kind of just kept doing it. I just loved making, stupid fucking songs. And eventually it was like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of a good match, golf and music. And at first it was just that stupid, I want to play G with my friends, yada. And then I was like, okay, well, let's get a little bit more creative than this. Like I'm technology, everything's faster. Computers are faster. I was able to, come up with shit a little bit faster. Like anything, it's like the more you do it, the better you get, the faster you get at it. You're always thinking about it. And I just started trying to kind of mix in, the song with the tip. And it's like if I get something stuck in someone's head and it's simple, it's like you're never.
It's like a jingle.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're a creative genius on this because I hear those songs when I'm swinging sometimes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so
it's fucked. It's fucked up, right?
Yeah,
it's fucked up. So like,
your brain's working overtime.
Dan's watching like the Crushes build in these interviews.
That's great. Oh God! Every guy that we come on here, I mean, you really just get more and more.
I'm glowing right now. Yeah,
you're sweating. You're perspiring.
Well, it is hot in here now. We just shut the door because I think the janitors came through. I'm glad they didn't take our pizza out of here. But that's the rapping thing is wild to me because. When people have multiple skills like that, so like I play some chords on the guitar, right? So I could play a few songs. When there's somebody that can pitch and fish and play darts and shoot pool and be a scratch golfer and rap, all these things that come together, there's certain people like that. And those people are scary to me. Like they could be pro in 9 things and it's like what's going on in their head? How do they do that?
It's not me. I have no idea. Ask him.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'm looking at you, Dan, but I haven't heard you rap. But I mean,
I can't sing. I can't play the guitar.
Yeah, you could block people.
I would
you
consider
could snap
myself
the ball
athletic.
Averagely.
I can do a lot of things good, but like creative is not my thing. So is that just like in your head from youth?
It's just. I think it's.
Or is it from the weed?
It's being encouraged when you're young. If someone's like go out and fuck with that, like my mom was super. She was both my parents were musicians, and And it was just like, there's no such thing as, a wrong note. Like literally just go out and fuck around with it. And eventually, like you tell a kid to go play around with something, like they're going to figure it out and become really good really quick. Especially if there's no, like, the worst thing is like a parent being like, oh, that sounds like shit, stop doing that. It's like, that kid's fucked. Right. Yeah. So like, that was just the biggest thing, just being allowed to go play around and sound like shit for, a long period of time. And then just for whatever reason, I just got into it. I mean, motivation, that's a whole other topic, but it's like, for whatever reason, I kept on kind of going with it. What I've realized now, I just love learning, like the process of it, the science behind it, like how it works. Like the book, The Talent Code, really opened my mind to kind of what the process looked like. And that really helped me with golf. It's like, it's just, there's a structure to learning, right? There's all these kind of bumps and curves and whatnot. But when you look at like how a simple way to think of it is a good learner when you're playing guitar, or if you're learning piano, they'll play the song, and as soon as they fuck up the note, they just start over and they just repeat that until they get it right. And they do that 10 trillion times.
Yeah. Yep.
It's no different in golf. So like if you're trying to work on your backswing, you film yourself, you make sure you always have feedback, and you go and you make the movement. You look at the film, you say, okay, that was right or wrong. Oh shit, it was wrong. I'm going to exaggerate it more. And you just keep doing it until it's just, you don't even have to think about it. Like, it's really just that simple. And then kind of the other little nugget is like, you have to have your own little space. Your can't remember what they call it in the book, but it's like your backyard, or a space where no one's watching you. It's like a total just safe, free environment where you can go and fuck around and look like an asshole. And
safe space.
Put the work in.
That's a big term lately in the world.
We're in a nest. We're in
the trust tree, the nest, the safe space.
Right. Well, you're at the driving range. There's people around you, right? So you're going to be influenced by them.
Nothing I hate more than doing drills at the driving range at the club. Like, it's the worst. It's the worst.
You look like a fucking asshole, especially filming yourself.
Yeah, you put a camera out there, you better leave.
I
want to go kick that camera away from people.
Yeah, 100%. You can't.
That's why I literally built a driving range, like, beautiful in my backyard for that reason. Because I'm like, I'm gonna set up this pool noodle at Quinnesset Country Club. No shot. But I will buy that tripod and put that pool noodle on it all day at my house. That's your drill. I love that thing. Under the noodle. Think about it all the time in my head.
I love it. Fuck the guy. So there's this guy who made the product. The chili. Have you seen the chili whacker?
I've heard you talk about it on there, but I just bought a regular tripod and shoved the noodle right on it. That's what I use.
Yeah. Well, so they charge $170 for theirs. It's like they have two pool noodles, right?
Oh yeah, it's tilted. That's right. Yep.
Two. Yeah, Two's better than one usually.
Nah, I just do the one. It's great.
Yeah. So I mean, I just started telling people, like, fuck, right? Like, $170. Like, no one's gonna pay that. Like, why don't you just buy a tripod and a fucking pool noodle? It's costing $10. Yep. And they got fucking rattled about that.
No, they didn't like that. They sent you a C&D on that one. They cease and desisted.
You can't, like, literally, like, your patent fucking blows. Like you realize what you
with two poles on it.
You realize how stupid that is. Like, you can't get mad at somebody who just tells people to buy two things from Amazon. Mm-hmm. Nothing is more illegal than that. Literally.
Yep. No, I love that drill. That's one of my favorite ones, because my move, we got to go into your swing a little bit, Dan.
Please don't.
My move's a tiny bit. I keep it controlled, but I come a tiny bit over the top, and like that's when I get in trouble. It's not terrible. I can straighten out. I hit the ball fine, but if I got rid of that, I would be a better golfer. That's the way I feel.
No, definitely not. You just have to make sure that when you hit a pole, the face is just too close. That's literally it.
Yeah. So counterclockwise at impact is it's one of your videos. I think about kind of rotating my hands clockwise at impact. So that way my club face isn't shot. It's actually probably square. That's the thought.
Exactly. And that's just a little feel, right? Like that's if you roll it too much, that's when you'll start to see a straight pole. That literally the face is just too close by 2 or 3 degrees.
Yep.
And it's just that stupid fucking club face. Like 99% of golf issues are just literally just close your club face more or close it less. Mm-hmm. And it's really difficult to do that consistently for anyone. But I mean, it doesn't need to be any more complicated. Like, if you were to get your path more into out, and try and play a big old push draw, like, you'd never be able to trust it, and you wouldn't see the golf course the same anyways. Mm-hmm. It'd be weird fucking aiming right and getting the ball to curve left. Mm-hmm. Even all the angles, all the confidence goes right out the window. So it's literally just players that fade the ball, strong grip players, just make sure you tee your driver down a little bit. That's it. and just play that little low fucking fade.
That's all we need.
I don't think I have mine that high. But
If I was going to assess Dan's swing, and I sent it to you, Jake. I don't know if you saw it or not yet, but Dan's a little steep. I think Dan, you're a little bit
that's
steep.
fair.
You're a little bit tall, I think.
Yep.
But you strike the ball great. He swings PXGs too, by the way, obviously. So
Of course.
So I mean, yeah.
PXG. Where's your PXG hat?
Yeah,
I don't have a hat.
Where's your bag? Where's your polo shirt? Yeah, where's everything, right?
I just like the club.
Well, yeah,
Hey,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised the bag's not behind you and you're not wearing the shirt.
I'm not. Hey,
I have
Jake,
a master's bag in the back of my
I'm not the douchebag here. All right, I'm not the douchebag.
Well, me either.
You're kind of the douchebag.
No, get out of town.
You're the douchebag.
No, I have a nice, easy bag. I
went down.
I untuck my shirt. I do the thing. I'm pretty casual.
I went
You have a
down.
PXG bag?
I don't have a PXG bag. I have a Wannamoisa bag.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
But you do swing PXGs. By the way, they do bomb the ball though. Like I mean,
I like
it does have a good feel to it.
I want to suck less at golf. All right.
Yeah, that's the key.
And I hit those things when I went down. When I went down to Cays Valley, I went down. I hit them.
Yep.
With Bernie, one of the good instructors, and they just felt good.
Yeah, you do hit it well sometimes.
I like the club.
What's the golf ball do? You play fade too? Little dusty fade?
You know what? I just try and I don't know what I hit right now. You know what the shitty thing is up here, and you said it on the first podcast. The season's like 30 minutes, right? And then when I was playing football, you get done, whatever. It doesn't start getting nice really till June, right? Then you can play consistently, and then training camp comes up. So I didn't have a lot of time to play then, and then you get married, and then you have kids.
Yeah.
Hard to get out then. I'm just starting to get out golfing now.
Yeah, you're playing. You're playing a great course.
Like it's the same thing. If I'm hitting the ball well and I'm contacting it well and I'm confident in it, then it's going to be a good round. I'll shoot anywhere from a 78 to an 86.
Yeah, no,
probably 86 is a bad day. I'm fine.
Right.
I want to get down to
and
like
you play
the 70.
and you play a tough club. I mean, you're the course you play is one of the toughest in the England.
I think my bat, I'll pull it. If I'm going to miss it, I'm pulling the hell out of it. And I did it on the simulator the other day.
That's the video.
You know what?
Snapped it.
That's bullshit, though, because if you're playing in a simulator and the thing is not high enough, and that's probably why you're saying I'm steep, if it's not high enough and you hit the goddamn top of it on your first swing, you have no trust.
It was in your head the rest of the day.
You cannot follow through on your swing. So just throw that out.
Okay, I'll throw that out.
But I definitely pull the shit out of it when I miss it.
You pull it, yeah. So you're swinging left. So it's just a matter of finding out. I mean, that's the beauty of TrackMan is you get on there and you make 10 swings, and it's like, okay, this is where your path doesn't change. You're always swinging whatever, like 5 degrees left. Mm-hmm. If you can find that essentially that perfect place for the club head, which is if you're swinging left 6 degrees, this isn't going to make any sense to you. But if you're swinging left 6 degrees and you get the face to three open, the number pops up on the screen, and you just say, okay, what did that feel like? Okay, do that again. You just do that and do that and do that.
Muscle memory. Do it over and over and over again until it just feels natural.
And you're not chasing the right arm. You're not chasing the left arm. You're not chasing the look. You're literally, every golfer is way more consistent than they think. Like I've looked at thousands of swings. Like the shittiest golfer, their swing looks the same every fucking time for the most part. It's not changing.
Right.
But the small skills of
teeing the ball down,
low point. Can you hit the middle of the club face? Like one thing that fucking blows my mind is no one ever practices hitting the middle of the club face. They practice their shitty top of the backswing, but they don't practice contact. Like you give any athlete some fucking foot spray and just say, sit here in this dark room for the next
great
year.
Drill. Yeah. Love that drill.
And literally, it's like you don't need to know anything. It's like, oh, I hit the toe. Okay, try and hit the heel on the next shot. Okay, I hit the heel. Okay, try and hit close to the toe. Okay, so
that's what that feels like.
Less of that, more of that, and just do that all the time. I mean, especially with the driver, because you've got gear effects. So if you hit the toe, you're going to hit hooks. If you hit the heel, you're going to hit big slices, right? So 99% of golfers, they don't even know what a toe hit feels like. Most of the time, they think it's the opposite. So it's a stupid conceptual thing. So, I mean, I'd say 99% of people I ask, I do the spray thing and I say, okay, well, how many times have you practiced this knowing the answer is fucking never? It's like, well, why not? Why are you not practicing in the middle of the club face? I don't get it. And why is no one talking about it? It's just so stupid.
It's the little things, right? It's the little things that you have to do to be successful.
That's an act and to do that. And that feels, by the way, when you hit it on the center of the club face and you marked it, it feels great. You're like, oh shit, I hit that in the right spot. And by the way, that felt great.
Right.
And if you catch it on the little toe, that's the thing. It's like those little adjustments that you don't get to do when you go play golf, like when you're out there on the actual course. And I love doing those little tiny things like that. That's fun.
How much are you playing now? Or you're just instructing?
I try and get out and play. I played twice this week already. I played. It'll be spurts. Like I'll go and I'll play a couple times in a week, and then I won't play for 2 months.
Wow, that's a lot. But you'll hit a shitload of balls, though, right? Well,
I'm always in the backyard fucking around, always. But that, that doesn't mean shit.
No, it doesn't.
Getting in the backyard, it's great.
Right,
obviously. But like, even, I'm telling you, I hit thousands of golf balls, and you still have to get out on that grass.
Yep.
And it's just crazy how little translation there is from the range to the course in terms of score. Like you could beat a trillion balls,
right?
And there's a good chance that you're not going to see that much of a difference in your score, which drives people fucking crazy. It's just the environment is just too different.
You know what we need, Jake? We need a playing lesson with you. That's what we need.
You know we need you. Are you free for any member guests this summer? Because we'll fly you right out here. Like,
I'm down for 2 weddings. I'm down for 2 fucking weddings in Mass.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfect.
Wow, we'll time that up perfectly. I can sense a member 3 on a Wednesday.
I hope there's a fight when you come in here too.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a fight when you land at the airport. Those Northeasterners just getting into it, getting mad, getting angry. That's what we do out here.
Oh yeah,
we're not chill like you guys out there. By the way, I wanted to mention this. Where'd the Purina come from? And this thing, this thing. So, I can't get that out of my head. I can't get it out of my head.
Dude,
this thing.
I don't know where the fuck that came from. I have no idea. I think I did it at the end of a video and I was like, wow, do I look like a fucking complete douchebag or is that going to work? I don't know. I kept doing it. The Purina thing, I heard someone say it and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. They hit a good shot and they were like, someone was like, oh, that's Purina. And I was like, that's fun. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
There's no more cool words. I mean, like people, like you use the word dusty all the time. Like the dustiness of golf has taken away all the cool words. Like pure and flush and like these things. Those are dumb words now. We need Purina. We need like something. I can't even think of any other cool ones.
So are you just going to do it after a good drive or something like that?
Yeah, we're going to have to. Dan and I, so we already got a couple member guests teed up. My club, we have a 4-day one that I have a buddy come to. We'll talk about that on your show.
Jesus
That's too long.
Christ.
That's too long.
So you've got one. Am I coming to yours? Am I coming to at least a 2-day at one of them?
The 3 days in July.
Okay, so we'll do that. I can't wait to be out there after every shot, just twirling and then doing that. We get thrown out of there so fast.
Fucking
you might get thrown out of that one.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't.
You know what? You know what the best part is, Jake? You're right. I mean, it used to be these courses. Hey, no cell phones, no hats here. Wear this. And especially here, and you went to school here, you understand how it was before. Shit's changing a little bit. There's a new movement coming in where there's a youth movement with like the new technology group or whatever. So as long as you're not fucking slow and minding your own, honestly, you can use your cell phone. You can wear a hat somewhere on the golf course or whatever. Now it's not what it was once before, which is good because that's going to open the game up to a hell of a lot more people.
Yeah,
100%. I still think there is like this. Let's say 10 golf courses in the world with like those insane rules because it is still fun as shit to go to a course and be like terrified of like you feel like you're fucking 9 years old again.
Oh,
right?
it's the worst.
It's kind of
am I supposed to park here? Is this the right parking lot? That's the first thing that you're scared about.
Oh my god, right? You're just terrified. You're just terrified of like an asshole, right?
Yeah.
But it also I feel like it's one of those things where it's good to feel like that like once a year, just like you're a fucking irrelevant piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man, you're nailing this. Yeah.
Right. And like you're just like, today I am a fucking pigeon. Right. And I'm going to show up. I'm going to feel like an ass. I'm going to play like shit. I already know it. I don't give a fuck. But you go out and you do it. Right. And it ends up like, obviously the golf course is unbelievable. Right. It's usually, a course you're going to play fucking maybe once in your life. And it's legendary, but like that like scary vibe is like, it's almost like part of the mystique, right? You're like, what other environment you just feel like like you're just always doing something wrong in. It's like kind of fun for a day.
In the clubhouse, there's like an elephant head and tusks.
Welcome to my world for 9 years with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Get yelled at like you're 13 every goddamn day. It's the goddamn truth. And you go to those places, you have a hat on over a covered area, and 3 seconds later, someone's like tapping you on the shoulder. Excuse me, sir, can you take your hat off? It's like, I'm still outside right now. I'm not even in the clubhouse.
Yeah, nope, if I had that head of lettuce that he's got, then I'd take it off all the time. But, we're starting,
Do we still like DeChambeau?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, dude, DeChambeau he's like...
I think he's a mental case.
Oh, he's completely insane.
Oh, we like him. But yeah,
he loves him.
Yeah.
From what I've...
Oh, dude.
I can't stand him.
I think he is just so fucking entertaining. He's like golf's like meathead, but he's also like a fucking like science guy. Like he's just like you just look at him. He's just hilarious just to look at. Like everything he does, he's just like fucking bopping around. You're like, what the fuck is Bryson? How is he gonna fuck up this week? What dumb shit is he gonna say? And you know what I mean? And like there's always at least something, whereas everyone else is just like, oh, here's Justin Thomas, you know what I mean? Like, or here's fucking Harris English. Cool. Like,
yeah, boring.
Okay, like, there's
exactly.
nothing. There's fucking nothing. Right?
That's a fair point, but I can't get behind a guy. I think it was at the Masters last year in the fall when it was just like, oh, I was dizzy.
Oh, that part bothered me a little bit too, Jake.
I can't get behind a guy that makes excuses for not winning. That pissed me off.
Is this a jab at me right now?
It actually wasn't, but it wasn't, but it is now.
All right.
And then it's like, all right, how many times are we going to call the rules official over? You're a professional goddamn golfer. You know the goddamn rules. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to walk up 150 yards just to see the green. Come on, buddy. You've been here for 3 days. You're paying your caddy 10%. Trust your caddy, goddammit.
Just hit it.
Oh, he's just such a douchebag. You gotta kind of love it, right? Like, I mean, that's my take. Like, he's just such a douchebag that I'm like kind of on board with it just by the fact that like no one is that insane. Like, no one is that unaware. No one is like what did he do? He like didn't shake a guy's hand. He like played like shit. He was like a little fucking.
Oh yeah, at the end.
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Right? Like there's bullshit like that all the time. We're like fucking A. Now he's done it so often. He's so consistent with it. It's just like, all right, like I'm gonna hop on board and I'm here. I'm gonna watch it, and I can't wait till he does something. Like what we were talking about on the podcast, I'm just waiting for him to like bury a rules official, be suspended for like 5 years.
I mean, like,
go Happy Gilmore on
go play in Asia or something. It'd be hilarious. Like that would be great.
Oh my god.
Hey, so you're doing all the swing lessons and everything and all that. What about like we're talking about Bryson? What about like fitness style stuff? I mean, because you're a hockey player, you're a golfer now, so you've been in the gym. Are you doing stuff like that too? Or you still? I mean, I'm always wondering, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, we just did this crazy ass Peloton challenge for a month, which actually was great. Put us fit, but I want to get more flexible. Like, are you doing that type of stuff too?
Yoga. So, I'm on the hot yoga train.
Hot yoga thing. Yeah.
So also this guy, check out this guy Stuart McGill. So like the body.
Write that down, Mike. Write that down.
I got it.
I've spent a lot of, so I mean, when I was playing hockey, it was all just, it was about fucking getting big, making sure you had, whatever, all that, but you don't really know how to move. And so golf, what I've spent the last kind of 5-6 years doing is learning how to move and like what that means. And like, it turns out the body is just this incredibly fucking complex thing. And like the way the golf swing works and how you want your core, granted, you'll hear a lot of people talk differently about it. Not that many people know that much about it, but at the end of the day, there's exercises that you do and things that you need to feel. You don't need to be jacked to hit a golf ball a long way at all.
It helps though.
It certainly helps, but you can understanding like how to kind of activate certain parts of the body and how to get your core working and how to relax your arms without tightening your shoulders or your other parts. You can get so much distance out of just understanding that. So Stuart McGill, he's one of the guys that talks a lot about, he goes really in depth and gives you drills, most importantly, where, you watch the video and you just do the drill and you're feeling like not you're feeling the outer parts of your abs. You're feeling like shit you've never even thought about thinking about before. And then you're like, oh, that like, and it's shit that it's like, you'd never figure it out unless someone was guiding you down that road. And then as an athlete, you're like, oh my God, like it's just so incredibly intricate. And there's just, I mean, there's thousands of things you could think about, but like when when you're going through the drills and you're like on your back and you're clenching your core without clenching your hamstrings, and you're like pushing the right hand up, and you're trying to this new set of like coordinational skills. I don't even know if that's a word. You start to kind of put the pieces together, but like yoga is not going to help with your golf swing. Just randomly stretching is going to help. You have to have a really clear kind of idea of not only just the body, but also someone, telling you kind of how to mix the two, because a lot of the guys on the strength side aren't golfers. And so they can't communicate the two together. And so that's kind of where I'm at now, is trying to kind of fuse the two into transfer those into fields.
Yoga can't help your swing, but it can make it longer, right?
Well, you can be more flexible.
I can get more flexible in the back. Like, all right, so I had reconstruction surgery in my shoulder, and it's basically, all right, I can go like here and all the way back here. So, if I'm stretching that out, in theory, that should make for a better swing. If I have a shitty swing at first, it's not going to be better, but I should be able to.
Well, we're slightly more beat up than your average businessman. I mean, you put an 11-year career in the NFL. I threw a lot of baseballs for 5 years. So, like, we're not, like, coming out of it like we're kind of fresh. Like, I mean, I had Tommy John. My elbow's torn up. Your shoulder's torn up. So there's some things that we have to do to even get loose to get out there and play.
The back. It's good for my back.
The backs are a little beat up.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, like football players' spines are usually a lot thicker, which is awful for speed. Like a baseball pitcher, the spine is not nearly as wide, and already playing a rotational sport. There's all of these crazy things that go on with this. I mean, you could even be born with like a different shape of a spine, and like those like spine things, whatever the fuck you call them, aren't rotate as good.
Vertebrae.
So it's like,
spine things. I like spine things
vertebrae, fucking spine things, fucking whatever. That's what I'll call it.
Spine things.
Maybe that's what we should have a race next.
Yeah, I like spine things.
We should have a race next. Supposedly you're faster. I might pull a hamstring.
Boy, no, both. If we did a race stint, like, so we're always talking about competition, right, Jake? So a race between us is 2 hamstrings for sure.
Yeah, that's
and maybe an Achilles, and then we're out for the golf season. So
I agree.
Hey, how do we find you? Like, tell us how we find you, because we have 10 listeners. 9 of them I know golf, so they're gonna absolutely eat this one up, and they're gonna be looking for your stuff. So it's Jake Hutt Golf, right? On Instagram, TikTok. Are those the biggest things? Are those the biggest platforms for you right now?
Twitter.
That's pretty much all I use. I forgot my fucking Twitter password. I'm not going to bother with that one. So it's
mostly Instagram and TikTok.
How great was the TikTok when it came around? Like,
what's that?
How great was TikTok when it came around?
Oh, I mean, TikTok's the commenters are just gutless on TikTok, which is hilarious. I get people chirping me all the time, just like, that fucking tip sucks, or that, like, whatever. It's like, it's so much different than Instagram. It's so funny. People are just like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Fuck you too.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's great. It's just even more catered for short viewing, which is what I'm all about. I don't put shit to YouTube, because I think they reward their viewers with or like
ads.
You get rewarded if you're ads, but also length of watching.
Right.
So like if your videos are only like a minute long, I don't know. So
that's why yours are so. I mean, we said it, I think 3 times.
Just get to the point. Tell me the tip, and let's go.
Yours are so creative. So at Jake Hutt Golf, like, go follow him there, please. If you're any type of a golfer, if you're not, like, this is where you start. You just go back to the beginning, roll through the whole thing, watch them all, and then be addicted to it. And literally, like, if I said this, I text to a friend at 9:00. They text me back at 1. They're like, I'm still on this thing. I've looked at every video, which is huge. Steve Plesky, I'm talking to you, because I talked to him last night about it. It was hilarious. What color Gatorade do you like? What's your favorite color Gatorade? This is a recurring question that we ask to every guest.
Gato.
We don't call it Gato.
Go.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? A California?
I don't understand what Gato is.
Gato? That's a hockey thing.
Wow. Hello. That's new.
Gato sauce? No.
No.
Just Gatorade over here.
You guys are shaking your heads.
Maybe you shouldn't come back for those weddings in the summer.
Oh, that's my next question. What color are we going with? He's gonna say a G2.
I'm going.
You're gonna go purple, aren't you?
I'm going classic. I'm going fucking orange.
Okay,
All right,
good. Yeah,
good.
well, we like the
All
big
right.
three: red, orange, and lemon lime.
Lemon lime. Well,
let's-
yellow.
And
It's
so
yellow. It's piss
whatever you
yellow.
wanna
It's
call
called
it,
piss
but-
yellow.
Okay, orange.
when someone goes off the grid with one of the fucking
We hang up.
other flavors, yeah,
That's it. If you go G2, if you go like diet Gatorade, bye.
you're fucking you're
Yeah,
off.
you said orange. That means you can come back. We'll bring you on again. Hey, we're serious on this wedding thing. When you come out here, you're 1,000% playing at both of our courses. Like we're doing we'll do it in the same day. We'll do 36. We'll do it in the morning at my place. We'll do it in the afternoon at
And then
yours.
we haven't left in a year, so we're coming West Coast too.
That's also be
Hell yeah.
ready.
Well,
We're coming
let's
your
fucking
way.
Make it happen, 100%.
What's Drive Box, by the way? Tell me about Drive Box, because I see that on everything that you're doing. So, and it's like the
Yes.
coolest idea ever. So, can you explain it for a second before we hang up?
It's just it's a mobile driving range simulator. So you picture your, I don't know, like 5-iron golf or whatever. Is that what it's called? I don't know. If,
Yeah, we have 5-iron out here.
That's like the newest. It's just literally, it's a portable golf simulator. So we got a TrackMan in there. We're getting force plates installed. You can fucking drive it wherever. We've got the screen in front. So like you're hitting and you've got this big screen in front of your face, and then you've got the screen on the screen you're hitting into. And it folds out. We only have one right now. We're getting 10 of them made, but all
10
of them.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Doing 10 of these things.
Oh yeah. We've got fucking funding, and we've got only problem is all the supply. There's like 5 manufacturers that make the trucks. They all got their stimulus checks. They're not going back to work. They're like, fuck you guys. Like we're chilling. So we're trying to figure out how to get these trucks made. We've got a team in New York City, ready to go whenever we get the next one out. Like the truck we have right now is like the shitty prototype. It's still badass, but the new ones are going to be unreal, and they'll just keep getting better. And so that's just DRYVEbox.com. Originally, there wasn't an E at the end, and obviously that looked a little weird. So we had to come up with a solution for it not to look like Dry V Box.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Like
That's fantastic.
I think we're gonna have 10 of them, because I've had friends actually send me a message, on Instagram, whatever. Hey, did you see this? And we've got some buddies that live in San Fran. They're like, how do we book this thing? So I'll have them check into that. That's awesome. They're getting a bunch of them. That's huge, because I think that's such a great idea.
Strictly for content, though, can you actually be golfing when you take that thing off road? I mean, just film it inside what's happening over bumps and shit.
Like while you're driving it.
That would be kind of fun.
Probably be fine. It'd be all balanced.
No, bullshit. He's not going to be fine. Take that thing over some hills, some bumps. You're California,
exactly.
like off-road.
Oh, that would be like the Jackass when
yes.
Dan, trying to hit a golf shot, just bouncing all over the place. That
Absolutely.
would be unbelievable.
Hey, so we're jumping on. You guys have a podcast too. Tell us where to find you on that.
Far from par.
Far from par.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just type in Far from Par.
Far from par. Listen, these guys are hilarious. Like, it's a great thing. And Dan and I are coming on with you tonight. So,
so fucking
we're doing 10
stoked.
o'clock? We're doing 10 o'clock? Is that the deal? Well, I guess it's, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock for us, 7 o'clock for you?
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
So we'll jump on with you. We'll shoot a text, and then we'll jump on with you guys. So Past Our Prime listeners, you guys are listening here. You can go grab us on their thing too. We'll even we'll call it Past Our Prime After Hours, because this one we cut it loose a little bit more than normal on this one, but we're probably really going to cut it loose with you guys. Does that work?
Love it. Okay. Hell, are you guys live right now?
No, this will go. No, next we're not live, but we're not going to cut anything. So basically, yes. If that's the answer.
Actually, we haven't cut anything yet, so that's a good thing.
No, we haven't cut anything yet.
You guys fuck with Clubhouse at all?
What's that?
You guys fuck with Clubhouse at all?
No.
That new app?
No.
What's Clubhouse?
It's essentially you can podcast live essentially, so you can record it too. It's super new. I think that's going to be the new thing. I don't know if it'll fucking catch on or stay hot. But like people could like literally listen to us and they could participate in the conversation. You have people asking questions and shit.
Basically, whatever you say, I'm assuming is trendy. So write that down, Mike.
Tip just shaved all his body hair right now, but he's growing up the top. You're gonna. Hey, the big salad. The hats are sold out. Can we get some hats? Love free shit.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do that.
I'm going to be out there whenever it is that I am. It's fucking like June. I think it's June. I'll bring a bunch of shit.
Make sure you save a day. Seriously, when you come out with like early, like make sure you save a day. Because by the way, we'll video it too.
Oh yeah,
we'll shoot it out on at least at my place. So like, well, I don't know where our pro just left after 20 years, so we got to work that in with a new pro. But we'll figure it out. Hey, this was awesome, man.
Yeah,
everybody
man.
go
Thank
follow
you,
this guy. Like he's got just such incredible content. So, and then we'll catch you at 10 tonight. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
Sounds good, boys. Appreciate it.
Catch you later. We'll talk to you.
Later.
See you.
Perfect.
Bye now.
Past Our Prime is brought to you by Squad Locker. Squad Locker is your one-stop shop for custom team apparel, delivered right to your front door. Learn more by visiting squadlocker.com.